All we're getting is the sound of the potentiometer here. Welcome. Well, this is a guitar toy, and it also has a special trick up its sleeve. We'll look at that in a minute. A viewer watched the stash video 2026, and this was in there. We had a little bit of a look at it at the time. And yeah, it was suggested that I look at this one next, so here we are. It has a couple of buttons here. These are buttons also. Then these strings are just metal, and they don't really do anything as far as I can tell. I think they're just there to mimic the action of a string so that kids kind of have an idea what a guitar is actually like. There's a volume control here on the side, which that's going to be very handy, especially if it's annoying. And on the back here, you'll see there's a space where it looks like there used to be a bow, like a violin has. That is long gone, unfortunately. So yes, the reason there used to be a bow with this is because this guitar transforms. And to do that, I think what we do is press these. And lo and behold, it becomes a violin or a fiddle, depending on how you want to play it. So I have no idea if this was marketed as a fiddle that turns into a guitar or a guitar that turns into a fiddle. I'm gonna bet it was the guitar part because that seems to be more popular with kids, doesn't it? So, and it makes that kind of little noise to tell you which one it is at any one time. The actual mechanisms are a little bit funky. I think that's all supposed to spring out in one go, but it doesn't seem to want to. Maybe this is the way we do it. That seems to work, okay. Okay, so the speaker is here, so I'm going to have the microphone kind of down this end. Okay, so what does it do? Well, we have these two buttons here. One has many notes and one has one note. The one note just does this. It plays various riffs. And the other one, I'm going to bet, plays more of a tune. Let's have a listen. Yes, that goes on. In case you didn't recognize that melody, that was ABC by the Jackson 5. And if you press this button, it plays the backing track for that. Oh, maybe it doesn't. Hang on a minute. Maybe you have to press both at once. Well, make a liar out of me. This worked a minute ago. Bear with me. So yes, you can kind of use these to furiously play the melody faster and slower, depending on what you want to do. That's interesting. So we have a different tune now, and once the tune has started, I'm not sure exactly how, it might have been with this button, once it's started you can then play bits of the melody using these bars here. I want to get it to play the Jackson 5 again here. Nope, hush. Now that song was something different again, and I should recognize what that was, but I can't, it's not coming to me right away. Right, so I think we got it back to the Jackson 5. It sounds like there's 2 or 3 songs in there. Come on now. Well, you get the idea. So let's go back to fiddle mode and see what it has to offer. I think it's more, it just plays the tunes rather than has any interactive ability in this mode, it would seem. So yeah, I guess that's all we have as far as functionality. On the back here, as mentioned before, we have this weird space for the detachable bow, which is no longer with us. But it also tells you the date, and it says 2001. Mattel ink, made in China, and of course it's Fisher Price, as I mentioned. A brand that I've found makes toys that are very difficult to open and get at the guts of, but it looks like they've given us screws at least, and for some reason they've got screws on the back end of it here. I don't think there's actually anything under there, but we can look at it anyway. And then we have, presumably there's some kind of switch under here that tells it it's one or the other, guitar or fiddle. And then we have the battery compartment, of course, and let's look in there first of all, because I want to see what state the batteries are in. They seem to be in good order, but you never know, they might be leaking substances. And of course, as usual with these things, there's a screw to get at them. Oh, it only takes 3 AA's. I thought there might be 4 under there. They are Bunagizers, and they're in pretty good shape. Do we want to test it for bad battery mode at this point? Maybe we do. Let's do that, because that's always a good starting point with these things. If you can't bend anything else on them, sometimes you can starve the circuitry from the battery compartment, and then you get some interesting results. So let's try that first of all. So a battery holder and some paraphernalia. To set up the bad battery simulator, we really need access to the terminals that feed out of this contraption. Let's get it open first of all. We'll just take the back off for now, and we'll leave the rest of it intact. These are some of the biggest screws I've seen in a kid's toy. Yeah, there we go. All right, so any bets on how easily this comes off? Oh, it looks like we have one more to deal with, that one here. Okay, before we see the innards, that's a shorter one, so we'll know where that goes. Ah, there's not much in here at all, is there? The circuit board is tiny. We have this one little board here that has been kind of carved into a weird shape with the 2 buttons on it. There's our on-off slash volume. Oh, I see. Aha! So there's the switch that transforms it from guitar to fiddle. It's operated by this little, what would you call that? This little dealy bopper contraption that we rigged up earlier. It's black to black and red, or green rather, green to red. And it was already turned on, so we're fine. Now then, if we get something going. Well, it cut out pretty quickly there, which makes me think it's not gonna do anything too interesting. Oh, we reached the limit there. Oh. Okay, so we're back in business here. The batteries are reinstalled. Our circuit board is exposed. There are several tiny surface mount capacitors and resistors on there. Our black blob, and that's about it. The rest appear to be wire connections. These two ribbon cables here. What is that one? That green one is going down underneath here for the other switches, I think. Then we have red to this switch, and blue to the speaker, and of course our battery terminals here. I don't expect great things, but we are going to try prodding with our wires. Let's get some audio going. Maybe the tune, if we can get it working. Did I kill it already? Obviously I did. Okay, so you joined me after my camera stopped recording, so I don't know how much we have to redo here. So far the only meaningful bend that we found is this point here, which I believe is one of the legs of the transistor, and then any of these 3 points here, which gives us a volume drop, quite a drastic one. Let's show you that. So what would that give us? Well, we could install a momentary switch for that, which would give you that stuttering effect. When I tried one of the legs of the speaker, the positive for now, to some of these points, such as the capacitor and the transistor here, we got some quite drastic, again, volume drops, but also some hefty voltage spikes, which could be detrimental to the circuit. But let's listen to those anyway. Again, not much use. The other one was more stable from this leg of the transistor, if indeed that's what it is. It's hard to tell from this side of the board what's going on there, and I didn't really have a great look at it while it was up the other way. It's kind of difficult to do without taking all of this off. Well, let's just poke about a little bit more, and what? That was so trippy that I don't know what I did there. I'm not sure if the backing track is just naturally weird or if something I was doing was affecting it. That was this leg of the capacitor to here, switching between the guitar and the fiddle tune. That's kind of interesting. So that was another trigger effect. Yeah, that one there Pretty much the same as what we had before. Well, just out of curiosity, let's switch it to fiddle, because you never know, it might show different functionality. Well, that's interesting. So the combination that was doing the switching from guitar to fiddle does the opposite, does fiddle to guitar. This point and this point that's hidden under the wire, they switch through individual notes. If I can get that to... So if we turn that back to guitar again, do we still get that behavior? Not really. So that only happens in the fiddle mode. So that's pretty much it for bends as far as I can tell. This point and any of these 3 points give us a volume drop or a stutter effect if we had a momentary switch there. In both modes, this point and this point switch between guitar and fiddle in a momentary fashion. And then finally we have in fiddle mode this point and the point lurking under there give us individual notes of the fiddle melody. And that's about it, other than some horrible pops and clicks and such, which, as I say, are more detrimental to the circuit than anything else. So these bends were not very interesting as far as I'm concerned. I think I'm going to pass this on as is to my niece because she's into guitars at the moment. So let's close it back up again, now that we've revealed its secrets. There we are, all safely back together and in good working order. A bit disappointing as far as bending goes. The stutter function might have been an interesting addition. So, not much more to say about this other than the transformability was an interesting twist. Yeah, so that has been the Fisher-Price transforming guitar / fiddle. Thanks for watching.